Hello everyone. Fruit Blend Asset here, leading intuitive business strategist and women's transformation catalyst. I love to help women to really bring forward their divine sacred work and to honestly make really good money, because I know that when women are wealthy, our world benefits, the community benefits, we all benefit. So I feel that so deeply and so strongly, and I am really committed to supporting women to move into divine wealth. So, hey Michelle, hey beautiful, how are you? So I wanted to talk today about energizing the new paradigm. So, I talk a lot about this new paradigm in feminine leadership, and, we're aware that there is so much going on in the world at the moment that is calling us to create new ways of doing things, new ways of being, create new structures and new support systems to move forward with, that will really have us move into a better world, one that is, supporting us as a whole, is supporting us to be in greater and greater levels of truth within ourselves and with each other. So I really wanted to talk about and to kind of delve into what are the energies that we're looking to bring forward in this new paradigm that we're building. What are the energies that we want to bring forward? And I would love for you to comment. I've got some that I want to, put into the, weave into this tapestry, but I also really want to invite any of you to drop into the comments any of the energies that you would love to see be brought into this new paradigm that we're creating. So some of the ones that I've written down are collaboration. So working together with each other rather than against each other or in separation. Ease. I just love that word and the sense of just being able to breathe and exhale that comes with it. So ease, effortlessness, unwavering. So that real sense of stability, of sacred structure, of, this divine kind of support. Community, so important, and so blessed to have this beautiful community. I just am so grateful to everyone that's here. Thank you so much for being here. So community, trust, trusting ourselves first and foremost, trusting the divine, trusting each other. Next is integrity. So being integrous with our truth and with our word and with our deeds. So incredibly important. Hey beautiful, thanks for joining us. Abundance. So the sense that there is more than enough to go around, there is no scarcity. There is more than enough to go around. There is this sense of limitlessness that we can tap into and that we can invite into as one of the energies that we are calling forward for this new paradigm that we're creating. Another one is flow, this divine sense of flow. Next is play. It's not meant to be hard. It's not meant to take a long time. We don't have to do it by ourselves. We can do this with a sense of play. We can bring forward this level of playfulness. It's so beautiful. Receptivity. We don't have to force everything. We don't have to force anything. We can act from a space of inspiration, and then we can move into a space of receptivity and receive what it is that is coming our way. awareness, another beautiful energy that we're bringing in and calling into this new paradigm. This new paradigm in the world, this new paradigm of feminine leadership, this new paradigm in our own becoming, in who we are being, sustainability and thriving. So these are all of the energies that I am calling into this new paradigm. I am calling into this sacred container of not just this group, but of what I am creating from here. So it's really, really beautiful and important to reflect on the energies of what we are creating and to then be able to hand that over. I did this with a beautiful practitioner of mine last week, created the sacred container of energies for what it is that I'm creating, and then I get to hand it over and go, okay, hand it over to the divine. Okay, this sacred container has been set up now for what it is that I'm creating. So I hand it over and I trust. I move into trust and I move into receptivity. So this beautiful, beautiful sense. Now, my old way of working, I have to share this with you because I was reflecting on it just the other day. My old way of working, I've always referred to it as being, you know, this real masculine sense of working. And I realized the other day that that's not actually precise. It's not that I was working in a masculine way. It's that I was working in a way that was opposite to my natural femininity. So the words that came up when I was reflecting on how I was working was cold, hard, and fast. And that, of course, is in opposition to warmth, softness, and slowness. These divine kind of feminine traits that I really, really recognize and are very much more a part of the way that I approach what I do now. So that was really interesting for me to notice. And that way of working, it really took its toll on me because what I realized is that I was turning away from my truth. I was turning away from my truth and my default nature and my divine femininity, and I was moving towards this other thing, this other way that I thought things had to be done. And this turning away from my truth is essentially a disconnection from source as well, from my own divine nature. Now, I believe that a lot of the pain and the struggle and the issues that we see in the world today, I believe that a lot of those have an underlying connection to humans being disconnected from source and disconnected from themselves, disconnected from our own divinity. And it's a really powerful thing, you know. Often in times like these we can feel like, you know, what is it that I can do? How can I possibly make an impact in this, you know, in this world that we're living in these crazy times? You know, we've had floods in the last 6 months, floods and fires and COVID. We've had, you know, what's going on now in the States and all around the world. You know, there's a lot going on, and it's, if anything, it feels like it's ramping up. So there can be this sense of, you know, how can I make an impact? What can I actually do to make a difference? And what do I actually have control over? Because there's so much in the external that we don't have control over. So what we do have control over is ourselves. You know, we can have an impact by going inside and connecting at an even deeper level with us, with our truth, with our own divinity, and then we get to shine that light out, and we get to be a beacon for others. You know, your divinity is such a blessing and a gift. And your divinity, by that, I just mean your truth, who you really are. It's an absolute gift. I was speaking with an incredible client of mine last night, and I was sharing with her that, you know, a part of the work that we do with clients, of course, is around the wisdom that we have and the knowledge that we have and what it is that we deeply want to share. And another very, very powerful and impactful part of what we do is simply in who we are while we are sharing that knowledge. So you don't have to do anything more, essentially. You just need to be more of who you are in order to have that incredible impact. So there's this beautiful vision that I see. And I see this when I consider women birthing their soul work, when I consider them bringing through what is so true and deep and aligned for them. And what I see is, when I close my eyes and I consider this, is this vision of the globe. And the women that I work with who are impacting humanity in their own ways, I see them as beacons, as lights, as satellites. And I see each one of them impacting their own communities, impacting their families, their communities, and all of these other beacons and satellites and lights lighting up around them, and then so on and so forth as the world lights up. And I know that that may sound, I don't know, a little cheesy or something, but I cannot shake that vision, and I cannot get that image out of my head when I close my eyes and I consider this. So be the beacon in your family, in your community. This is something that you can control. This is absolutely something that you can do, and you can have a massive impact just by being who you truly are. That's number one. Number two, if you want to take it to the next level, is that who you are, you have a soul imprint. You have a unique medicine that is just yours. That is the unique expression of your divinity. And that is something that is so special, is such a gift, and is something that you can absolutely share in this world. You can package your brilliance and you can share your incredible divine gift with this world and be a part of that vision of the globe and the lighting up of each woman and then each family member, each person in the community. You can be lighting up your community by sharing your sacred gifts. So I'm really passionate about supporting my clients to become wildly wealthy. And I'm not going to apologize for that. I truly believe that wealthy women will change the world. You know, when women get wealthy, this is one of the things that I remember so clearly about my studies. I studied business banking, finance, and international trade. And one of the things that I love the most about what I studied is that was learning about Muhammad Yunus in Bangladesh and the concept of microfinance that he developed. And what was really interesting to me about this was not only that there was such a high rate of repayment when you had women supporting each other in these beautiful divine circles of micro credit and micro enterprise, but that the reason that he chose to support women in this way is that what he saw in the villages that he was working in that country, what he saw was that when women were empowered with wealth, they would reinvest that money in their families and in their communities. And what he saw in that space when men were empowered with wealth was that they would invest that money in that country, in those communities that he was working. He found that men would invest that money in alcohol and gambling. So women would invest it in their families and communities, men would invest it in alcohol and gambling. And that's why he chose to focus on supporting women with microcredit and micro enterprise in these beautiful divine circles. So when women are wealthy, when women gain wealth, when they make excellent money, I see it time and again with my clients. They invest in their families. They invest in their communities. They invest in with other women, with other business women. They spread that wealth around, and it's an incredibly empowering thing for the community as a whole, for the world as a whole, for the economy, for small business. You know, it is incredible. And I was just chatting, I just got a message from one of my divine clients, and she was telling me she had this goal of 300k annual with her business, and she's just moving from one business to another. And we started working together a few months ago, and she just messaged me to say that May was a 30k month. She had all of these people come into her, over 30 students come into her group program. So May was over 30k for her. And that means, and I said, well, that means that you're on target for your 300k annual figure. And she was like, yep. I'm like, that's amazing. And I know that that wealth will go out and serve her family. It will serve her community and beyond. So incredibly heartwarming, and it's why I do what I do. Absolutely. I absolutely love it. So if you're looking to be a part of this new paradigm, if you're feeling this new paradigm coming, and you're like, all right, how am I going to be a part of that? How am I going to make an impact and invite divine compensation into my life, and then be able to make even more of an impact? How am I going to do that? I would love to invite you to book a free call with me at ceopriestesschat.com, and together we will map out a strategy for you to birth your sacred work and to move into a space of divine compensation and attracting, magnetizing soulmate clients to work with you while you deliver your soul work. There is nothing more fulfilling for women, I believe. I haven't had children yet, so I'm going to say maybe kids would feel fulfilling as well, but I'm not sure to what extent and if they're different. I'm sure they're probably different. So, you know, anyone that books a call with me this week, I've got something really special, like I said, sacred container that I'm developing, which is I'm probably going to share a bit more about in a few weeks' time, but there will be a significant cash bonus that they qualify for if they book in a call this week, and they choose to come into this sacred container. So that's everything I wanted to share with you. I'm sending you so much ease and effortlessness and unwavering support and trust and integrity and receptivity and awareness and thriving and sustainability and playfulness and all of these divine things. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll speak to you really soon. Bye.